In the previous video, we saw Louis Robert assemble this $3,500 wheel set. Today, we put to the test those stringy Berd spokes. Are they as good as they claim they are? Are they worth the price? Will we even feel a difference? Let's find out. I am with Louis Robert Frigo, an expert wheel builder and owner of Station 210 here in Saint-André-d'Argenteuil, Quebec. Louis Robert, did you build those wheels for yourself or for a client?
Those weren't built specifically for a client. They're very distinctive in terms of the build. They're using Berd spokes, which is very innovative and quite new on the market. And since everything we do is custom made, we always like to have some tryouts on the new products. Also, Onyx produces these hubs specifically for Berd spokes with hooks instead of holes for traditional like stainless steel spokes, which facilitates the lacing of the wheel and ultimately the replacement of spokes.
And of course, we have the Berd spokes, which cost $8 US.
So it's about 4 times the price of a good level stainless steel spoke.
Berd spokes, based in Minnesota, they're making some quite bold statements about their product. They say, and I quote, "The spokes made in polyethylene are the lightest, strongest, and most durable ever invented." The Berd spokes are indeed the lightest, but do they really damp vibrations? As Berd says, 200% more than metal ones. To put them to the test, we rode both our bikes with 2 almost identical wheel sets, same René Hurst tires, similar hubs, and carbon rims. The main difference being the spokes. The plan is to ride 4 times the same itinerary.
Exactly.
And the goal is not to calculate the time or watts. We just want to see, do we feel a difference in riding those wheels?
So we're entering a small paved section, but soon we'll enter a bit of a more gnarly section used mainly by off-road 4x4. Now a bit bumpier, sandy. Of course, these roads are not maintained for bicycles, but they run parallel to the official cycle path. Now entering the paved section again. This is a secondary trail used by the Trans-Regional Trail for Horses, but it's shared space. Whoa.
Back at the parking, we swap cassettes, and it's now my turn to try the control wheels. I normally ride 650 by 48, so I feel a bit higher on the bike. I feel more the ground as well, especially here, a lot of rocks. Now we're coming on a patch of asphalt. It accelerates faster than my normal wheels. Oh, cornering. Cornering is nice. I feel extremely stable. Now change of wheels. Louis Robert is the first lucky one to try the Berd spokes.
So now I'm doing this on the Berd spokes wheel. I'm a bit disturbed by the fact that the Onyx hub is completely silent. Wow. First real impression is that the small imperfections in the road just disappear. It is smooth. You do not feel soft, more gravel section. And I would say less bouncy, clearly, since the tires are still doing their job, but there's something in the wheel that seems to absorb.
Super excited. My turn to try the Berd spokes, and I have no idea what Louis Robert thinks about them. We haven't shared anything, so it will be a brand new experience. We're not influencing each other. I feel it pretty rough here. Back at Station 210, Louis Robert, did you feel a difference?
Yes, I felt a difference. You know, on the 2 extremes, which is the very smooth pavement and the very like big rocks, gnarly kind of roads, it's a bit more difficult to sense.
Exactly.
It's fine, but the moment we went into that more of a single track section where there were some branches across the road, small rocks, I had a real feeling that yes, the tire was damping. The compliance of the rim was also damping, but there was one thing more.
A bit of a suspension, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a suspension that usually, or on my, with the other wheels, you feel in the handlebar.
Yeah.
So it's like 1, 2, poof, in the handlebars. Whereas with those, it's like 1, 2, You're kind of waiting for it and it doesn't happen.
You're right. I
Yeah.
feel like the silky smooth asphalt, there would be no difference. It's when you have a crack, you kind of feel it, but then you have to think about it. And when it's too rocky, too big, I could not even concentrate. The sweet spot is really gravel riding.
Yeah.
Like mountain bike, I don't know if it would be that useful because you already have a suspension, you already have a bigger tire. And for me, with this set of wheels, I felt like I had the advantage of accelerating with a smaller tire, the 700 by 42, but I had the cushiness of my 650B by 48.
We had only a small loop. Huh? We didn't have a chance for a longer distance. And we know that one of the consequences of gravel is tiredness.
Yeah, because
body.
your body absorbs everything.
Yeah. So without suspension and without going to very, very big tires that will ultimately, because of the weight of the tires, could like reduce your speed. So you go with thinner, but you have the spokes that, aid in terms of reducing the vibrations.
For cyclotouring or bike packing, that would be really useful because then it's long distance, a lot of weight, maybe no suspension, but also it's quite easy to change one spoke if something happens, especially if like this model, we have the hook.
And you can pack a few.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good for gravel.
We don't need to put them into a wind tunnel to imagine that they might not be as aero as some bladed spokes.
Yeah.
But let's not undermine. There might be some events, some big hill climbing event.
Yeah, like a KOM kind of a race, right?
Yeah, where you really want to drop the weight to a minimum. You might say saving only 100 grams, but saving only 100 grams is not nothing if we think of marginal gains.
Yeah.
And if you think of marginal gains on the uphill, the aero part is secondary to, again, marginal gains for a specific function.
Today we put to the test those wheels and we saw a difference. Maybe not everywhere, not an extreme difference. Now, is it worth the cost? Depends what you're looking for in terms of weight, what's your budget, in terms of what you already have on your bicycle to absorb those vibrations, what type of riding you're doing. But there is a difference. We both felt it.
Maybe you're convinced or not convinced. If you're in the Montreal region, give us a call and we'll set them up so you can try them on your bike. And I've got some places where you can try them.
Yeah, you got an itinerary, right?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for watching.